Welcome back to the Rest is F1 podcast. Today we are talking about the Saudi Grand Prix. We're going to go through our predictions, and I'm your host Shaq, and today with me I've got ABD. How are you, ABD?
Good. Really looking forward to the last race of the triple header in Saudi. Must be an exciting one. We had a pretty decent race in Bahrain, so hopefully we get similar or better action in Saudi.
Let's just jump straight into it. Who do you have for good drive this weekend?
Yeah, we've both got a Ferrari hat. I'm really hoping Leclerc find his forms, Ferrari find their form, and get back to the front, fighting with the McLarens. And hopefully, this is the race where they find that. I saw last time they bought a lot of upgrades to the car, the most a team has bought. Hopefully, they found some answers in Bahrain, and they can really, show it in Saudi. So yeah, I've gone for Leclerc for my good drive.
I've gone for Oscar Piastri. Um, Safe one, but
Can't
it
get
needs
that
to be
wrong.
done. Yeah, it needs to be done. Obviously, I'm still behind in the prediction points so far, but yeah, Oscar's been really great. Bahrain completely on top of everyone. So yeah, really nothing special about it. But Oscar Piastri, good drive. Ham has gone for George Russell, so that again, pretty justified. George Russell's got three podiums out of four races so far. He's looked one of the best drivers so far this year. Um, so I think, yeah, George Russell, that's pretty fair enough. And let's go to bad drive. Who have you got for bad drive?
All right, I'm gonna go for a safer option here. Just assessing the last few races that he did. So I've gone for Liam Lawson. Hadjar is showing his real pace, like being a rookie. He's in great form. Lawson hasn't beaten him in any of the races, and hopefully that stays like that. So I get a point. So I've gone for Lawson for bad drive.
Yeah, it's a real shame that he's not really getting, results at the moment. He's been struggling still, and hopefully he can change it in the next few races because, otherwise the season's going to be already halfway done. And he's
Mm.
still struggling, right?
Yep,
I've gone for Nico Hulkenberg. Sauber just really struggled last weekend and the weekend before. They've pretty much been the worst team so far. And yeah, just Hulkenberg, no matter how good he is, obviously he's a great driver, but that car is just so bad, right? And there's
yep.
nothing he can do. So I feel like it'll be another one of those weekends where Hulkenberg has a difficult time.
I don't know how they're going to do in 2026 when they have the Audi badge on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's terrible right now. But the good thing is every team in on the grid this year has already got point, at least 1 point.
yeah.
Like compared to last year, where there were teams at the last race, until the last race was, every team didn't have like at least 1 point. So hopefully that's a good.
Sauber was one of those.
Exactly. So yeah,
Yeah. Um, Ham has gone for Max Verstappen as his bad drive, so he's gone a bit more out there.
that's a bit crazy, I think.
It's a bit crazier than our ones, but it does make a lot of sense. He did struggle in the
Mm.
last race, but I still think he's doing a pretty decent job because that car is really not that quick,
Mm.
and it might have been genuinely slower than Alpine's car last weekend,
Yeah,
and
Gasly
he
was pretty.
still managed to just get ahead of Gasly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and lot of news, lot of talks about Max moving to Aston Martin next season is
yeah,
popping up on the internet everywhere. So this would be the weekend to watch out for anything brewing up from that perspective.
yeah. All right, let's go over to the good team. Who have you got?
Yeah, I've gone for a safer option again. I've gone for McLaren. I didn't go for McLaren for the last couple of races, I think. So McLaren. Oscar Piastri, like your prediction is like to win the race or hopefully having a good weekend like he did in Bahrain. And also Norris not too far behind. So yeah, I've gone for McLaren.
I've actually gone. So you've gone Ferrari driver, McLaren team. I've gone McLaren driver. I've gone for Ferrari. Good team. I mean, like we were saying before the podcast, I've just they just really need to get some re good result now. They need to catch up because this is such a disappointing start. They were people were like saying, "Oh, they're going to win the constructors. They could easily fight McLaren after the momentum they had last year."
Mm.
Shifting into this year, and it's been really disappointing that they just pretty much what they've done is they've scrapped all of last year's like parts and they've completely redesigned the car, which is such a bad idea. I don't know why they've done that. I feel like you should just build off what you have and then just work on the regulations for the next year, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
like every other
yeah,
team has done. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I've gone Ferrari. I think this is the time. They just need a good result, like better than what they've been doing last weekends. So yeah, Ferrari for me. Ham has gone for Mercedes. So he thinks that they'll. I mean, they did pretty well in Bahrain. At least George Russell did. He got the podium, and Mercedes is actually doing pretty decent in the hot weather because usually last year they were struggling with that, weren't they?
Yes, temperature has been an issue for that car, but it was surprising in Bahrain how well they performed, and Kimi was just unlucky with the safety car. Otherwise, he would have finished in the points as well, I believe. So, yeah, they're looking really strong. Russell's, like we discussed in the last podcast, Russell's like extracting every bit out of that car. So I think that's a fair prediction from him.
Let's go to bad team. What have you got?
All right, again, a safer bet. I think I've gone for Stake F1 team for bad drive, Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. I wouldn't blame them, but the car is nowhere near, near their best in the midfield car. So I think they'll struggle
Yep.
in Saudi as well.
Ham has gone for Aston Martin. So I think that's also again pretty justified. I feel like Aston's struggle a lot this year. They've not really been able to, be in like sort of just that fifth place team.
Mm.
They've been kind of below that even this year, right? They've been beaten by Williams pretty comfortably, and then the other teams have also had a pretty, they've done pretty decent against them. Alpine was pretty decent last week as well. So Aston Martin, I think it's pretty fair enough, I think.
Four races in, and Fernando Alonso hasn't got a point yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're
I mean, yeah.
all their team, like they've hired from other teams, like the top engineers and the top technicians from the other team. Money can buy everything, but looks like they can't buy performance right now with the money
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah. Yeah. Alonso was unfortunately pretty unlucky, sorry, with the first two races, though didn't even finish at all. Like that's yeah, that's not the way you want your seasons to start for anybody. So yeah. I've gone actually for Red Bull. So I think this is one of those weekends again, like Max last week, probably he's out down in sixth or something, and Yuki maybe not even getting the points because that Red Bull car is really struggling. And I know,
Mm.
like you said in the last video, Red Bull have been struggling with sort of the graining in the tires.
Yeah.
I think, high temp track like Saudi, that's probably going to come back into play again, unfortunately for them. So I've gone Red Bull for my bad team.
Yeah, about the tires graining, Pirelli have again decided to go with the softer component like Bahrain.
Yeah.
They had the hardest in Japan, which sort of made the race a little bit boring. So with a softer tire, more graining, more strategies in play. So hopefully that'll be an interesting race. Yeah, and Red Bull struggles with the graining as well. So yeah, fair call.
Let's look at crazy predictions. What have you got for
All right,
Saudi?
this is my second time I'm calling this as my crazy prediction. So Sainz to beat Albon. It almost happened in Bahrain, but then the crash and the side of the Williams got broken, so he couldn't finish the race. Uh, The thing is, Sainz should know he's in a Williams. He shouldn't be fighting like the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. I
Yeah.
I think he should try to get his first points on the board. with
Yeah.
Williams. So hopefully he does that and beat Albon in Saudi.
Yeah, he has got the 1 point from China, but that was not like, he wasn't on track aware
Oh
of the
yeah,
fact in the
because of the
points, right?
disqualification. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that was pretty much just inherited. But yeah, I think yeah, the thing is, right, Albons looks so much more quick and complete and like comfortable in the car, and Sainz has just really had a hard time. But we know he's a good driver, and of all the places, I thought Bahrain would be the one. Maybe he does beat Albon because they had testing there and all that kind
Testing.
of
Yeah.
stuff, right? So my crazy prediction is actually there's going to be three DNFs at least this race. I think Saudi is the track for that. You've got
Mhm.
tight corners, long straights, windy circuit. There are some heavy braking zones. Usually, when people, there's wheel-to-wheel racing, you get some collisions, then you could expect some DNF. So I think, a crash or just even mechanical problem could be pretty likely in Saudi. So I've gone for three DNFs. Yeah.
Yeah, a few blind corners as well. So yeah, Saudi
Yeah, yeah.
be prone for pro DNFs. Yeah,
And Ham has gone for his crazy prediction is there will be at least one red flag and one safety car.
at least, at least
At
one.
least.
Okay.
There has to be at least one of each. Uh, so yeah, he's got, it kind of ties in with my one a bit. When there's DNFs and crashes, there's red flag safety cars. So, kind of makes sense, but we'll see what happens. Maybe this will be the first ever Saudi GP with no red flags because every single year we've had a red flag at Saudi.
We got a lot of rookies on the grid who probably would, hasn't driven on this track, so that might be a factor as well for your predictions. Yeah.
Let's go to pole position. Who have you got for pole?
Okay, continuing his form from Bahrain, I have gone for Oscar Piastri for pole, beating Lando Norris by half a second. No, I hope I hope it's closer than that, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have gone
yeah.
for Piastri for pole.
Yeah, well, I've gone exactly the same. I've gone Oscar Piastri for pole. Um, he's been a lot more comfortable than Lando, especially the last probably two, three races. So yeah, I think he's been pretty good in qualifying this year, especially. He's really improved on that. That's one thing I feel like he wasn't as strong as in last year's races, but this time I think he's quite good in that. And he's got the most poles so far. Um, Ham has gone for Lando Norris on pole, so I think maybe he's trying to be different to us, but he has gone for Norris. Yeah, so again, it's kind of between the two McLarens, and hopefully for Ham, Norris is not, starting from sixth again and has to struggle from the start of the race. Um,
Yeah,
let's look at
I know.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I know. We have gone for three. Oh, the McLaren drivers for pole, but I wouldn't mind a surprise pole this weekend.
Yeah, like a Leclerc or
Like in
Russell or
Japan, if
something.
Max does his magic and be on pole, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, oh, I was happy Norris was on pole because he was in my prediction, and then Max came out of nowhere and just took it. I was like, oh, I'm annoyed that Norris has lost the pole because I want the point, but then Max was so happy with the pole, right? He
Yep,
did such a good
exactly.
job, so
Yeah.
I was like, this is really cool. Um, let's go to the podium. So third place, who have you got?
All right, I've gone for Lando Norris for P3,
Yeah,
same as Bahrain,
yeah,
uh, which means he might be starting out of top three.
out of top three, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? What's your
So I've actually gone for George Russell. Really not sure about the Mercedes car. I have no idea how good it is, to be honest, because you've got two different drivers, one experienced and one isn't. But George Russell's just been on fire. I think his performances have been really good to keep himself where he's been, like to keep himself in front of a McLaren last race. That was really good. So I've gone Russell in third place, and Ham has also gone for Russell in third place. So we're quite identical there.
yeah?
What have you got for second place? Who do you have?
Again, going with my good drive prediction, I have gone for Charles Leclerc to split the McLarens and
Okay.
be the meat inside the sandwich.
So I'm assuming I know who your winner is then.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. But let's hear your P2.
Okay. So I've gone for Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Again, just not that great in the McLaren after Australia, really. He's struggled so much. So I just don't believe that he's going to get a win again. I have put him down for the win a couple times, and he just didn't get near the win at all in both of those occasions. So I still have a feeling it's just going to be a podium, but not a win. And Ham has gone for Oscar Piastri, so
Ooh.
he's gone different to us for sure. There, he doesn't think Oscar's going to win this time. He thinks it's going to be
And he
Lando.
got Norris for Paul as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got Paul for Norris, which let's go to the P1. He's got Lando Norris. Who
Yeah,
have you got?
yeah, which goes with what has happened so far. Every race, the pole man have won the race as well.
Yep,
So
and it happened again. Yeah,
yeah, so I've gone for PS3. So I've got pole PS3 and win PS3.
yep, and I've also gone for Piastri for the win, and yep, Paul again. So I think Oscar's going to be the quickest driver by far. It doesn't matter the car. I think he's just been really good, really consistent, good pace, good quality, everything. So I think Oscar's right on top, and like I said before, I think Lando's really been struggling. He was saying things like, I don't remember how to drive an F1 car. That's what it feels like, and stuff like that.
He's so
Um,
hard on himself, isn't he?
yeah, yeah. Oscar's kind of the opposite. He knows he'll make a mistake, but he'll just kind of reset and go
Very
again. And
calm.
that's
Yeah.
that's one thing that's really nice to see from Oscar. But yeah, maybe Norris is a bit of a crazy prediction from Ham because he's had a lot of troubles recently, hasn't he?
You never know. Ham has been doing so well in these predictions,
Yeah.
bagging some good points. So
Hey, all I'm gonna say is he's gone safe in some of the easiest races. That's all I'm gonna say.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's our top threes, everything done. Anything you want to add?
I think final thoughts. Really looking forward to this last race of the triple header, the first triple header of the season. Um, Hopefully we get a better race than Bahrain and Japan. It's a night race. It's usually very late for us in Australia, but we'll try to
Yep,
keep our eyes wide open for this one because we got 2 weeks break before the next race. So really looking
yep,
forward to it.
yep. Lucky we got some Easter holidays to help
Yeah.
us with the 3 a.m. race because otherwise it would be quite tricky.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's about pretty much sums up everything for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Um, we've given our predictions. If you guys want to put it in the comments, be totally free to do that. But otherwise, that sums up everything. We hope there's a beautiful race coming up. But until then, we'll see you for the post-race video. So bye bye, guys.
Bye.